Sugar City Morning Show.
Good morning, a most pleasant morning going out to everyone waking up bright and early this morning to this lovely, beautiful Wednesday. Today is the 6th day of May 2020. Good morning and welcome to the Sugar City Morning Show. My name is Robert Cheque Usher, and it's so glad to have you with us this morning. We are glad you're waking up to the Sugar City Morning Show. We want to see also the people there from PG, they call me and say, hey, they shout to you up again, man. Good morning to you there in PG. Miss Virginia. Good morning, Miss Virginia Castro. She live right on the entrance of PG. I remember the last time we gone there when we gone for the wake for Lila. He knock some kind of thing with some cabbage where boil up and so on. I remember them boy me work up there. Guana. Albert and Largo then work up there in Guana. I never touched that one there. Juba touch it too. But good morning, Miss Virginia. I hope everything is fine with you all. Just Joycelyn there by the Lee Waterside, the Lee Restaurant. She's a counselor at the PG Town Council as well. We want to say good morning to Mayor Ashton as well and to everybody there in PG, to Brother Paul and all our friends in PG. Good morning to you all. Penny Punta Gorda. How is Vance doing? Good morning to you, Vance Vernon. Hope all is well. You know, Lila gone, but that no means we can't visit you. When all of this pandemic done, we are giving you a leave visit at PG, right? We got a lot of friends at PG. So we say good morning to you all and Griga as well. Brother David, good morning, brother. Like, you know, I always use a quote. Not ready hype on people thing. You don't know what to do to get it. What's right, you don't know what to do to keep it. Kind of a struggle, right? And like you say in the next song, the struggle goes on, and you got the next one. We're not gone, we're not gone, we're not gone. We're just getting stronger. Heal up everybody every morning with good. Hello everybody, how you feeling today, right? So good morning to you, great poet when it comes to your songs. Good morning to our friends there at Mango Creek, Placencia, Dan Riga. Good morning, Dan Riga. All musicians, all artists in that area, trust and hope that you're doing fine. Great today. A lovely, beautiful morning there in Belmopan. San Ignacio, good morning, San Ignacio. San Ignacio, Jim Goodchild. Jim Goodchild, good morning, Mr. Arnold. Hoping you're doing great. And our friends there in Benqueviejo, good morning to you all today. San Jose Socots, Belmopan, Santa Elena, Belize City, San Pedro Kikaka, Orange Walk, Corozal, and the entire Belize and the world. Good morning, Uncle Kirk. Had a good conversation with you yesterday. That was good, you know. Talk like family, and, you know, it was very good. It was very fruitful and rich. But let's get blessed this morning. We will communicate with Delvi this morning to get blessed. Today we should be having Minister Aragon on the show, and we'll be talking about the different programs. We understand that the Human Development Offices across the country, that they are open already. So if you have any questions, and those numbers that were posted, the Minister Booth said that those numbers are no more active. You can go directly into the office and express your concerns. So the Human Development Office here in Orange Walk, I believe that is, I believe that that office is where beside, around like La Popular Bakery, they have the labor department downstairs, and upstairs is the human development. So you can go to that office for all your queries. Minister Booth say all the offices countrywide are open now, and they're taking care of your needs. So no need to call the numbers again. You can just check in over there. All right. So at this time, folks, we will be connecting with Delvi for this morning prayer. Good morning, Delvi.
Good morning, Mr. Chekia. Good morning to everyone listening.
Okay, good morning to you, and trust that all is well. I know you're blessed, so you won't be stressed.
Well, thanks to good Lord, you know, for our life, we're breathing, and it's a beautiful day, so just give thanks to God for that.
Okay, sure. Well, let's get that blessing for this morning like we usually do every morning.
All right. Heavenly Father, Lord, good morning. This day, Lord, I just want to give you thanks above all things. Thank you for the breath and the gift of life, oh God. Thank you for blessing us to be a part of another day. Thank you for your amazing grace, oh Lord. I just want to give you thanks. Lord, as we go about this day this morning, oh God, I just surrender our lives into your hand. I just pray for your your divine guidance, your divine protection, Lord, in whichever way that we may take. There are those who may be going back to work. There are those who are still at home. I pray for them. I pray, oh God, that by your Holy Spirit, that you guide us continually, oh God. And I pray, Lord, that as we go about this day, that we may always remember, Lord, that it is by your grace that we get to be here. It is by your grace that we get to do the things that you allow us to do. And I pray that you guide us by your Spirit, that we may ever be our brother's keeper. I give you thanks, O Lord, for just how wonderful and how amazing you are. Please continue to look over us. Please continue to protect us. And that we, in turn, O Lord, may give our hearts and our mind and our spirit to you, Lord, as only you deserve. I bless your holy name. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen.
Amen, amen. That's the mighty name, right?
Yes. The name above all other names, Mr. Jack.
Yeah, well, we have seen another day, you know, Delvi.
Yes, sir.
I remember the late Jerry Gentle used to say, we thank the Almighty, the Supreme, for lending us another day, not to give us another day, for lending us another day. You may know Jerry or you never know Jerry?
I want deep it down, you know.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I go after one, so way after one.
Jerry has those type of soft heart and kindness like your uncle Hubert, your late uncle Hubert.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
always joyful.
Yeah, people say that Cowboy used to like real up, but that's just him. But he real up and he bust out a laugh and hug you up and say, no man, we know they got you nothing bad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jerry was that kind of person as well, no? And we always have to big him up and his entire family. You know they are from Trial Farm as well, right? Well, he's originally from Ochobenke, but he loved bringing here to Trial Farm, you know? And he has his daughters and all the family here in Trial Farm, and his other family live there in Ochobenke, you know?
Yeah.
But thanks once again, Delv, and we trust and hope that we will be granted another day so that we can get a next prayer tomorrow, and tomorrow is Thursday, so we go into the poem, right?
Yes. God first, Mr. Jackie, definitely.
Okay, sure. Thanks again, all right?
All right, no problem. God bless.
Folks, and that was Delvi this morning, as we always thank Delvi here this morning. Yeah. Okay, so, all right. So, I need to check something about the death announcement right here. And we will be dealing that very shortly. But let's check in with the Belize Med service for today's weather forecast. People said they like how we broke it down because they understand it. You know, today is Wednesday. All day today, Wednesday the 6th day of May 2020, and the general situation, relatively moist and unstable conditions will dominate our weather. Unstable, so things shaky, you might have one leaf drop here, one leaf drop there, it might get hot and then it get cooler. The 24 hours forecast, skies will be cloudy at times with a few showers and isolated thunderstorms, mostly over southern and central areas of the country. All right, the winds are blowing east at 5 to 15 knots, and the sea stayed choppy. As we take a look at the temperature for today, folks, in the coast, 30 Celsius, 86 Fahrenheit, inland 35 Celsius, 95 Fahrenheit. So it's going to be 95 today, and in the hills it's 29 and 84 highs. As we take a look at the lows for tonight, in the coast it's 27 Celsius, 80 Fahrenheit, inland 22 Celsius, 72 degrees Fahrenheit, and in the hills 20 Celsius, 68. So a good weather, almost like yesterday. So if you could remember about yesterday, then we know what the weather is going to be like. Advisories, alerts, watches, and warnings. There continue to be a moderate risk for forest fires, especially over the north. All right, folks, so this is where we are. So alkene farmers that are burning, or if you have your field there, well, we know usually clean out and put on a guada rare, something like that. Got the point so that if anything engulfs in flames, then it won't spread over. And people who are burning, remember, an SI was signed, and we should not be burning any type of garbage nowhere in the country of Belize. When the cane farmers burn, it's because they are authorized to do so, because they need to burn their cane to take it to the mills. The outlook for Thursday and Thursday night is for cloudy skies with some showers and thunderstorms over most areas. As we take a look at the tides today, a high tide will occur this morning at 8:47 and low at 3:42 this afternoon. Another high tide today at 9:59, almost 10 tonight, and tomorrow morning low at 3:27, and the sun was up bright and early at 5:23 this morning and was set today at 6:14, and the moon will rise this afternoon at 5:43 and set tomorrow at 5:36. And that is your general weather forecast, brought to you by the Belize Met Service and certainly by your Universal Radio 88.5 FM. Folks, we want to send a message right here this morning that our friend Mr. Matthias Jr., the taxi man that was wrongly attacked and murdered, that they will be having a burial 11 at Trial Farm today. But we have to keep social distancing, but the family just would like you all to know that, and remember, when you come out you have to use your mask. This was the taxi driver that was brutally murdered on Sunday evening. That's Mr. Matthias Alpuche Jr. The burial will be held 11 today at Trial Farm. All right, so our condolences goes out to the family. Rush and tell your mother to send the love, right? Because you know how it is. I saw your mom on the air speaking, and I felt what she's going through, because she's a lady that is so quiet and she don't really mess with nobody. And when they touch people like that, they really touch hard, right? So that will be 11 o'clock this morning, Trial Farm. So, folks, we will be taking a break. We have Minister Aragon here, and when we come back, we will be joined by the minister right here on the Sugar City Morning Show. People show us a nice thing when they cook up over the country and things like that. For Trial Farm, school teachers will be there this morning. I believe it's from 9 o'clock, and the report cards will be given out this afternoon. So teachers will be at Trial Farm School this morning. You can ask about your packages. If you haven't received your packages, you can ask them. We have announced of this different stores here and different points where you can pick up here in Trial Farm and also at Ms. Nazira's residence. But the teachers will be there at the Trial Farm School this morning. If you have any concerns and you need to go and chat to the teachers, well, you have that opportunity. And persons are asked to try to see how you could squeeze a little bit for try pay a little bit of your school fees. If you can't pay, I'll just make your arrangement. So on that note, folks, we will be taking a break, and when we come back, we will be having Minister Aragon right here this morning on the Sugar City Morning Show on North Television Channel 10.
6 cylinders to pure potential and better performance.
It looks like it vibrates. You think it could be the horsepower?
With a quart of oil and the calibration of the injectors, it will start to get the watchers again on the street.
We take a motor to its optimal level. We speak machine, Rush France, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega & Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Notice the residents of rural communities in Orange Walk and Corozal districts. If you value your health and your children's health, you will dispose of your garbage only at approved sites. The disposal of garbage at any other location is illegal, and if caught, you can be fined up to $5,000. If you don't get caught, you can still suffer health impacts caused by these illegal sites, because illegal dump sites harbor pests such as rodents, possums, and mosquitoes that carry diseases. These can transmit those diseases to you and your children. In addition, the garbage you throw away illegally can contaminate water bodies near your community, the same water bodies you might use for recreation or other purposes. Only with your help can the Department of Environment ensure that Belize's development is safe for present and future generations. You can also contact your local village councils or Belize Solid Waste Management Authority for more information. The Department of Environment thanks you for your help.
Our economy benefits when goods and mobile services get to their destination quickly. When citizens are able to travel without frustration and undue hurdles, everyone benefits as well. The government of Belize is happy to announce the imminent upgrades to the Corozal-Sartaneja Road. 27 miles of road will be upgraded to paved standards and will include the replacement of 2 ferries with new bridges.
Why is it that we're going to invest in Sartaneja? Why is it that we have to take $50 million to invest in an area where we do not have a political directorate? We believe that as a government, we have to provide a service to all Belizeans.
Well, this for the village of Chunosh is a big advantage both ways. Sometimes when we got sickness, we got people sick at the clinic there, home in. When we reach at the ferry, can't pass 45 minutes have to wait. So now this road will benefit whole village, Sartaneja and Copperbank. I'm part of Progreso too. Well, it's really important for us.
I know that our village is not so much developed with tourism because it's a remote village. And for that reason, we don't have a lot of tourism over there. But now with this upgrading of the road and the pavement of the road, I believe and I think that it will be much beneficial for us and for everybody.
More for Belizeans, more for Belize, the government of Belize, moving Belize forward. The San Ignacio-Santa Elena Bypass project is now complete. The transformation began in 2012, and now residents of the Twin Towns and visitors alike are enjoying the end result. Works include the full pavement of Lamalus Boulevard, along with 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage, LED lighting, and a roundabout at the entrance of Santa Elena. The Twin Towns now boast the longest and widest bridge in Belize, immune to flooding from the occasional rise in water levels of the McCall River. A bypass road was also built linking the new bridge to Joseph Andrews Drive, which was rehabilitated, as well as 1 mile of pavement, a median, and 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage. This was all done to the tune of $34.8 million. But that's not all. The project was extended due to savings from the successful execution and implementation of the initial scope of works. Now over 2 miles of additional roadworks will commence, including George Price Avenue, Liberty Avenue, and the George Price Highway between Three Flags and Hawksworth Bridge. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Motor 5.0, 4 válvulas por cilindro. Todos quisiéramos una. Como que no agarra, ¿no? Siento como que se le pega el balancín. Vamos a darte el aceite que te mereces. Vas a correr como rayo, preciosa.
Los que oímos más allá de las revoluciones, hablamos máquina. Roche-France, poniendo el mundo a funcionar.
Agente autorizado German Vega y Sons. Teléfono 322-3625. Roche-France.
The ongoing technological evolution constantly transforms the way we live our lives. The introduction of our national fiber network creates the opportunity for Belizeans to live the digital lifestyle. Today, Digi is proud to introduce Dana, Belize's first artificially intelligent automated assistant. Dana is the modern customer service experience. Available 24/7, Dana can provide Digi prepaid and postpaid customers with directory information, credit and plan balances, product and promo information, and more. Just talk to Dana. Want to check your credit balance? Ask Dana.
Hey Dana, what's my credit balance?
New Digi promotions? Ask Dana.
Hey Dana, any new Digi promotions?
Dial 113 for directory assistance and dial 119 to talk to Dana. Digi remains committed to introducing the latest in cutting-edge technologies, transforming Belize one technology at a time. Try Dana today.
Thank you for calling Digi Customer Service.
Someone home? Yes, someone coming. Let's go. Sa. Fastest question of the day. Why you the letter?
Who sent me the letter?
That sign right there. You can't read?
Well, make I tell you something. In this community, everybody dump here, so me just dump my garbage right here.
So if somebody jump off a bridge, you that do it too?
No, man. No.
You never know that littering is an environmental crime and Department of the Environment can charge you for that?
Why is that a crime?
Because you pollute the same environment you live in, dirtying the same land and water you use. You don't even know that you dumping garbage can make you and your family sick by attracting disease-carrying pests, and the Department of the Environment just to try help we take care of the environment.
Sure, all of that? Well, now that you put it that way.
Thanks for your 5 cents, brother. That's it. 5 cents question of the day.
This message is brought to you by the Department of the Environment.
You have an 8-cylinder powerful engine disguised as an aluminum alloy that spins at 8,000 revolutions per minute.
Goes like this. You think it's a turbo?
No, with a cleaning of injectors and a change of oil, you will run more efficient, my friend.
For those who understand the engine like it talks to you, we speak machine. Rush France, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega and Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
The sunny days are here, and whether it's for a picnic or in your kitchen, you need the meat. Gillette's Meat Chop proudly offers a variety of juicy cuts such as processed meats, ham, bacon, salami, longaniza, and sugar cure ham, just to mention a few. Enjoy our meats in beef, pork, and mutton. So for that healthy cut your family enjoys, visit us at number 18 San Antonio Road in Orange Walk from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 1:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 12:30 and 3 to 5 p.m. Sundays, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Place your orders at 322-3486 or 322-2175 or even 610-4061. Send us an email at derekgillett31@gmail.com. Gillette's Meat Chop, fresh and processed meats.
Ay, qué rico.
Sugar City Morning Show.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. It's 26 minutes now, 26 minutes after 7 o'clock. It's the 6th day of May 2020. We want to say once again good morning to all our viewers right here. I know we'll be shining very shortly on the East Radar. I want to say good morning to Minister Aragon. Good morning, Minister. Welcome.
Well, good morning. Good morning, Checky. And of course, good morning to all our people in the beautiful district of Orange Walk, and of course to all those of you who reside in the East. I want to say a pleasant good morning, and it's a pleasure being here, Checky, you know.
Yes. How you keeping?
Wednesday, good man, good, not bad, you know. I think that seeing the news last night in terms of the fact that Belize is COVID-free, we can say at this point in time, where the last 2 cases that were there tested negative.
Right. Yeah.
Signals that we don't have a case in Belize in terms of the coronavirus or COVID-19. No? And I think that is great news. I think the important thing, just like when you're at school and then say you got 100 and you have to keep that 100.
Yeah.
And I think that the important thing right now is for us as a community, as a country, and as a nation, and as a people who reside here, it is upon us for us to keep it that way, you know. And how do we keep it that way? Well, we ensure that we do not go, especially at our borders, because we all know the situation out there. Mm-hmm. When you look at Chetamal, I think you have about 24 active cases. That was yesterday or the day before. So Mexico on a whole has a and that is only Chetumal. Apart from that,
and that is increasing daily, right?
Increasing daily, of course. And once you have detections, you know that there may be other people out there. Guatemala, in Petén, it doesn't stand any different. There are cases out there, and so the best that can happen is that we ensure that we do not put this country at risk. And when I mean putting this country at risk, means that for people who traverse these areas, I think government has asked time and time again, security forces have asked people not to go to the borders, not to go to Botes, not to go to Halacte area and those areas where you cross and get into these
Melchor as well, no?
Melchor and thing. Chetumal is locked off. These are done for a reason, and that is to ensure that we do not expose our people to the virus and so forth, not have somebody come back from these areas and bring the virus into Belize, because right now we are COVID-free. Internally, if you look at what has happened in the last 2 weeks in Belize, we have opened up in terms of lifting the restrictions,
yes, which is
allowing people to go back to work, allowing the movement of people, allowing people to trying to get back to a normalcy within our country. Of course, we are not there fully, there's a lot that depends on other things, but nevertheless, at least we are able to move, at least we are able to get back to doing some work internally, etc. And that is very important for people. I think people are glad to know that they can do that. But if we want to keep that, then we have to ensure that we are COVID-free here in Belize.
Yeah, but going there, Minister, when I say COVID-free, does that show and does that reveal to us that the preventative measures that the government and the oversight committee has implemented, does it show that it's working?
Of course, I think within the entire region, I think Belize stands out not only within Central America, but also in the Caribbean. I think the kind of actions, the good decision making, the timely decisions that the government made in terms of trying to deal with this coronavirus, I think will pay dividends, is paying dividends for us as yet. Of course, everything comes with a cost, but I will tell you right now, I think when you look at Central America, when you look at North America, you look at the Caribbean, I think Belize has done exceptionally well that we right now, we could say we are COVID-free. While other nations cannot say that, other nations in the Caribbean cannot say that, other nations in Central America, North America, etc., and across the globe cannot say they are COVID-free as yet. And I think that goes to a long way how government has handled the situation. And I truly want to think that government has done an exceptional job right now, despite all the challenges that government has been faced with. And I think it is a testament to the resolve of our Belizean people in their cooperation, in their wanting to work alongside.
It's a collaborative effort.
Exactly, with government to ensure that we keep this beautiful country of Belize free. And I think free from the virus. And I think that goes and speaks volumes of the Belizean people. And I think that you can see the results of this now. If we would have said, well, you know what, make we don't worry about this, and because you had governments like in Mexico, you have governments like in the U.S. right now they're wide open in terms of a lot of states have opened up and etc. And I think we have taken enough caution in terms of how we take things step by step, and I think that has paid dividend. Right now we can say we are COVID-free. That doesn't mean that this COVID can't come back to Belize. Of course, it can come back. We are close, so our borders are porous, so we have, but it is dependent on our Belizean people to a large extent. And I do think that it is possible. And I ask people, listen, you see the laws that have been put out there, Checky. If you go out there in terms of the border, and they catch you there, you're going to look at 3 months imprisonment.
That's automatic, no?
That's automatic, and these things are put in place because we want to ensure that we keep our people safe. There are certain people who want to traverse these areas, and it's not healthy for our nation at this point in time during this coronavirus. And so I do think that the measures that government has put in place is necessary to ensure that we keep this country safe. And these measures, the only measures, any day it is up to the people to abide by these things. And I think it is important for us, because together we will continue to say, we could get up every morning and say, you know what, we don't have no new cases and this and that. And I think it is important because, Checky, we cannot afford the kind of situations that US and other places like New York and thing where
they can't handle it.
We couldn't handle it if we have a serious outbreak.
Not even the US and the other big countries can handle it, and exactly. They have so much over this nation, I believe.
Exactly.
You know?
So I think the government, and I must say and give kudos to what it is due, and I think the government has done a tremendous task. The oversight committee, all the committees that have been set up, I think the DHS, and of course to all our people at the front line, whether you're a nurse, doctor, military personnel, police, I think everybody who's at the front line have done an exceptional job, you know, and I do think that right now it is how we move from here. What's the next step? I know government has lifted some of the restrictions to getting back to our people to work, etc. As I know there's several restrictions that are still in place that are still affecting a large body of our people in terms, you know, like our tacos vendors, the people who sell.
But everybody has been affected when it comes to the first part. But so, Minister, when we look on this thing like this, you know, we have the majority of Belizeans doing their part. We have to commend them and say thanks to them for using their social distancing, like what we are doing this morning, using their masks. But they still have some other people, you know, see them come out and they got the mask, Minister, but they got it hang down. They not got it. They not got it to cover their nose and their mouth, and there is a penalty for that as well. People say, why government they put so much penalty? Because it's for the safety of all of us.
Right, of course, and I think that is important. I think that, like I said, government can only do so much by putting in these regulations, etc. It is up to the Belizean people to adhere to them. I think, thus far, government's leadership has proven well that things have transpired well. And like I said, a lot has to do with the Belizean people adhering to these regulations. And I do think that moving forward, I mean, if we do what is necessary, I think through the leadership of the government and likewise through the cooperation of the public, I think we will ensure that we carry through this as best as possible.
Together we can.
You know, of course, there's a lot of challenges. You have challenges that is affecting the schools, you know. I mean, our kids are out of class right now, but across the globe you go, these are the same challenges that other nations face. But overall, I feel good that we have done well, and I feel good that we could get up and know that, listen, we can move around a little, you know, with a purpose, knowing that Belize is COVID-free right now. I mean, how many people in other nations can get up and say the same, you know?
Yeah.
So that to me is a good thing. But we want to keep that good thing, and I think by us adhering to the rules and regulations, you know, I think that will help tremendously.
Yeah. Now, we're talking about that, and people will try their best to try and make things happen. But we saw over the weekend, we saw some persons coming in from the Mexican side. We understand people are still going across. I understand a lady from Pachacan was charged as well. They're right by the river area. As Minister in the national security, what's your advice, or what's your comment on these things?
Well, my comment, Checky, is that, you know, the law has to be stringent in our borders right now, because if it's not stringent, people don't take it for puppy show. People don't just decide, well, I'll cross and I need to come back home, or I need to go here, and they will put everybody at risk, you know. And we might say, oh, well, it might lead to stiff, etc. I think that it is, we as citizens of this country have a responsibility to one another. You know, why will I go to Botes and cross the Botes? Because I got maybe something that needs to be done. But by doing so, I put the entire nation at risk. I mean, I don't think it is good for us to put our nation at risk for one person, you know, or for one personal need, or whatever the case might be. And I think that government has spoken out on this on many occasions, you know, in terms that we have closed our borders. The way we keep COVID-free is by maintaining our borders, that nobody is crossing. Because the virus is out there, and if people cross and come back and bring the virus here, they don't know. By the time it is detected, etc., that means people don't go to hospital, etc. You have a lot of cases. And then what? We're going back to what? Quarantine? Or not quarantine, but in self-isolation, or using the social distancing even worse. Or, you know, I think that government has done everything it can, and we have to put certain restrictions in terms of the borders, certain penalties, because sometimes that is the only way people listen.
Yeah.
It is sad, that we have, I think, 2 persons that were arrested, and I think they have been given 3 months imprisonment. To me, it is sad, but at the end of the day, it is a reality, because if you don't have that and people don't know that there's a consequence to pay for breaching the laws and putting this country at risk, then they do it over and over.
So it's better for them not to go.
People should not cross.
They
should not go out there. It is a risk. You're putting the entire nation at risk.
Yeah. Somebody
because
say
these areas have, and all back about us.
Yes, the place they infested. People dead already, man.
With viruses, yes, with virus.
So morning, good job, guys. We should have a Ministry of Health at Santa Cruz testing people over there, because then people had is let's keep safe. That's somebody's suggestion, no?
Yeah, and I think it is important. I truly check it. I think this country is small. We don't know a nation where
we go handle ourselves, man.
We are not clustered everybody together. We are a little spread out. So we have a good advantage in terms of dealing with this COVID-19 virus. But it is dependent on us as a nation, as a people, to say, you know what, we want to keep it this way. I got a social responsibility that I will not be going to the borders. I know I try to sneak across here for go get 1 2 cases up there or thing, because then you put the entire nation at risk.
The risk yourself to the risk of family.
Definitely, and I think that we have done well, and I must commend the Department of Health Services and everybody at the front line, like I said, for the work that they have been doing, and of course to our government and to the oversight committee and everybody who's been involved, because NID, this has been a cooperative, a joint effort, and if we are keep it there, then we have to continue to do what we are doing. And I do think that yes, the country will not come to what it was right away. I mean, tourism is a serious economy for us, and that is at its lowest right now, because we depend a lot on the United States, and right now no tourists there that will disperse here. So the hoteliers, the tour guides, everything where that brings and generates revenue, we'll not see that. So that is a serious challenge to our Belizean people, especially those people in that sector, in the tourism sector. Our kids have been affected by not going back to school. You have our tacos vendors here in Orange Walk, they sell, except they have to sell from home in terms of people by orders, etc. So it impacts everybody. The Bolido vendor, I spoke to somebody last 2 nights and said, well, I said, I'm going to take 1 lick and if I try, if the Bolido corong at this, I can make 1 lick money. So, everybody has been affected in one way or the other through this thing. And I know that for us to get back right now, I think up to yesterday morning, I think we had about 45,000 and odd people who are already approved with the financial assistance.
Yes.
And of that, I think we have about over 15,000 and odd people who have received a second tranche of help. Yeah. And so I guess government, if they had 45,000 people approved, I think you're looking at that every 2 weeks people will be getting that money, that support and that assistance, and I think that is a good thing. But at the end of the day, all of the disruption in terms of the foreign revenue that comes in with tourism, investments, we have issues with the cattle industry, all of these things that bring foreign reserve, etc., affects the economy of this country. So there's not that, we don't only have to worry about the COVID-19 virus right now, we have to look at its effects, and some of those effects is how that has impacted on our economy. And those are the kind of things that will not be fixed overnight, because it has brought about a lot of challenges, and those challenges will remain with us as we proceed down in the near and short and maybe medium and long term. So
a texter sent and asked if you can comment on the murder that took place on Sunday with the taxi driver. What's your information deep on it?
Well, like I said, the police are dealing with that case. I mean, a very sad and tragic incident, now we don't get a lot of murders.
Yes, yeah.
Right? We don't get a lot of murders. It's not like Belize City, where you get up and you hear this shooting incidents. We barely have a shooting incident here in Orange Walk. And to have gotten that was during the day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
In the evening. So, that's something unexpected. Like I said, the police are investigating that case, etc. I know they have people who are out there who have supported and assisted the police in the investigation, and I know that the investigation is ongoing. It's just sad that we have a loss of life during this time, and it is from a taxi man. Like I said, I can't comment on what actually transpired out there in the nitty-gritty, because I know I'm not privy to that information. But at the end of the day, it is sad for this community, and my heart goes out to the family, because any family who loses a loved one like this, it's not good. So, but at the end of the day, I know the police are doing their best right now in terms of how they'll deal with this situation.
Okay, good. Minister, it's 60 minutes away from 8 o'clock. Minister Aragon and Robert Cheque Usher will be taking a break right now, and we'll be back after these messages right there on North Television Channel 10.
Everybody wants a clean and healthy family. That's why they purchase the best food products and the cleansing materials. This time, we give you a bigger size of La Costeña products like the mouth-watering fried beans and the pasta sauce. And surely for your clean laundry, we have the breathtaking aroma of Ensueño Max Suavitel. Even your visitors will ask what you clean your floors and restrooms with. And you can boast it is the variety of Pinol products and Sultan muriatic acid, now in 900 milliliters. And much more for the best prices only at German Vega and Sons Imports. We serve you at number 5 San Antonio Road, Orange Walk Town. You can even call us at 322-3625 or 322-2672. Or you can even send us a fax at 322-2571 or email us at germanvega@btl.net. German Vega and Sons Limited, because we care for you.
Have you ever noticed the development that's taking place in your town or in your city? Maybe it's because you've been too busy enjoying the results. More for Belizeans, more for Belize, the government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Take a journey with us to endless possibilities. Our future as a country is now. DigiNet Boost is countrywide. Taking Belize into the future. Nationwide technological evolution. As the most advanced fiber connection, DigiNet Boost is a step forward into a modern world. Belize is powered by DigiNet. DigiNet Boost, now available countrywide.
Six cylinders to pure potential and better performance.
It looks like it vibrates. You think it could be the horsepower?
With a quart of oil and the calibration of the injectors, it will start to get the watchers again on the street.
We take a motor to its optimal level. We speak machine, Rush Franz, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega and Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Notice the residents of rural communities in Orange Walk and Corozal districts. If you value your health and your children's health, you will dispose of your garbage only at approved sites. The disposal of garbage at any other location is illegal, and if caught, you can be fined up to $5,000. If you don't get caught, you can still suffer health impacts caused by these illegal sites, because illegal dump sites harbor pests such as rodents, possums, and mosquitoes that carry diseases. These can transmit those diseases to you and your children. In addition, the garbage you throw away illegally can contaminate water bodies near your community, the same water bodies you might use for recreation or other purposes. Only with your help can the Department of Environment ensure that Belize's development is safe for present and future generations. You can also contact your local village councils or Belize Solid Waste Management Authority for more information. The Department of Environment thanks you for your help.
Our economy benefits when goods and mobile services get to their destination quickly. When citizens are able to travel without frustration and undue hurdles, everyone benefits as well. The government of Belize is happy to announce the imminent upgrades to the Corozal-Sartaneja Road. 27 miles of road will be upgraded to paved standards and will include the replacement of 2 ferries with new bridges.
Why is it that we're going to invest in Sartaneja? Why is it that we have to take $50 million to invest in an area where we do not have a political directorate? We believe that as a government, we have to provide a service to all Belizeans.
Well, this for the village of Shunosh is a big advantage both ways. Sometimes when we got sickness, we got people sick at the clinic there, women. When we reach at the ferry, can't pass 45 minutes, have to wait. So now this road will benefit whole village, Sartaneja and Kaparbank. I'm part of Progreso too. Well, it's really important for us.
I know that our village is not so much developed with tourism because it's a remote village. And for that reason, we don't have a lot of tourism over there. But now with this upgrading of the road and the pavement of the road, I think that, I believe and I think that it will be much beneficial for us and for everybody.
More for Belizeans, more for Belize, the government of Belize. Moving Belize forward. The San Ignacio-Santa Elena Bypass project is now complete. The transformation began in 2012, and now residents of the Twin Towns and visitors alike are enjoying the end result. Works include the full pavement of Lamalus Boulevard, along with 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage, LED lighting, and a roundabout at the entrance of Santa Elena. The Twin Towns now boast the longest and widest bridge in Belize, immune to flooding from the occasional rise in water levels of the McCall River. A bypass road was also built linking the new bridge to Joseph Andrews Drive, which was rehabilitated, as well as 1 mile of pavement, a median, and 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage. This was all done to the tune of $34.8 million. But that's not all. The project was extended due to savings from the successful execution and implementation of the initial scope of works. Now over 2 miles of additional roadworks will commence, including George Price Avenue, Liberty Avenue, and the George Price Highway between Three Flags and Hawksworth Bridge. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Motor 5.0, 4 válvulas por cilindro. Todos quisiéramos una. Como que no agarra, ¿no? Siento como que se le pega el balancín. Vamos a darte el aceite que te mereces. Vas a correr como rayo, preciosa.
Los que oímos más allá de las revoluciones, hablamos máquina. Roche-France, poniendo el mundo a funcionar.
Agente autorizado German Vega y Sons. Teléfono 322-3625. Roche-France.
The ongoing technological evolution constantly transforms the way we live our lives. The introduction of our national fiber network creates the opportunity for Belizeans to live the digital lifestyle. Today, Digi is proud to introduce Dana, Belize's first artificially intelligent automated assistant. Dana is the modern customer service experience. Available 24/7, Dana can provide Digi prepaid and postpaid customers with directory information, credit and plan balances, product and promo information, and more. Just talk to Dana. Want to check your credit balance? Ask Dana.
Hey Dana, what's my credit balance?
New Digi promotions? Ask Dana.
Hey Dana, any new Digi promotions?
Dial 113 for directory assistance and dial 119 to talk to Dana. Digi remains committed to introducing the latest in cutting-edge technologies, transforming Belize one technology at a time. Try Dana today.
Thank you for calling Digi Customer Service.
Someone come? Yes, someone coming. Let's go. Sa. Fastest question of the day. Why you the letter?
Who's a me the letter?
That sign right there. You can't read?
Well, make I tell you something. In this here community, everybody dump here, so me just dump my garbage right here.
So if somebody jump off a bridge, you do it too?
No, man, no.
You never know that littering is an environmental crime and Department of the Environment can charge you for that?
Why is that a crime?
Because you pollute the same environment you live in, dirtying the same land and water you use. You don't even know that you dumping garbage can make you and your family sick by attracting disease-carrying pests, and the Department of the Environment just to try help we take care of the we environment?
So all of that? Well, now that you put it that way.
Thanks for your 5 cents, brother. That's that, 5 cents question of the day.
This message is brought to you by the Department of the Environment.
You have an 8-cylinder powerful engine disguised as an aluminum alloy that spins at 8,000 revolutions per minute.
Goes like this. You think it's a turbo?
No, with a cleaning of injectors and a change of oil, you will run more efficient, my friend.
For those who understand the engine like it talks to you, we speak machine. Rush France, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega and Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. It's 5 minutes away from 8 o'clock. Minister Aragon and Robert Checker Usher live right here on North KBC on Channel 10. I want to say good morning to our folks there listening to the East Radio. Good morning to the folks of the East. How is the folks in the East, Minister?
Good, man. Good.
Good?
I think the East is right there, you know. I must say that, you know, I know that when all these restrictions and stuff, I know a lot of our people, you know, have to, the home and things like that. I think they have done very, very well. I think that I'm proud of the people in the East, you know, and we've always been working to support them, you know. It's not easy, but I think at the end of the day, it is, when you look across this country, our Belizean people, you know, kudos go to them because, you know, no matter what I say about we Belizeans, when the time comes in terms of crisis and that, we come together.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that is how would I put it to you? It is a trademark of what Belizeans can do when we come together, you know. So I'm proud of our Belizeans across this country, Jackie.
Yes. Some persons were asking, Minister, why 2 months?
With the state of emergency?
Yes, why 2 months?
Well, what government has done is when it went to the House of Representatives and it asked for 2 months, the 2 months is not something that we'll say, well, the state of emergency and they're there for 2 months. It is something that you ask for. That don't mean that you will use it. It's, you know, because we don't have to go back to the House again. Okay. Like when I say, well, we extend the state of emergency for 2 weeks, then we have to go back to the House. Then after that, for another 2 weeks, etc. Listen, every month. So they asked for 2 months. That don't means that you have the state of emergency for 2 months. But we are foreseeing that, listen, certain restrictions might have to be in place maybe more than 2 months. For instance, when you look at the kids going back to school, we might have school right here until September.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
It is just for something that government, we don't have to run back to the House of Representatives every time. But if tomorrow they find a vaccine and vaccine could be issued out and Belizeans could get that and we go back to normal, open up the economy, borders open, government will do that, but it is just done so that we have that, so that we can carry on, you know, ensure that we maintain our borders, you know, because remember, in a state of emergency, the government states quickly certain restrictions and regulations to help to govern the situation during this state of emergency. And I think it is important for government to have that so that we can enforce certain things, you know.
So it's not necessarily that we will be in the same state for 2 months.
No.
But
We're not sure.
That depends on me, you, and everybody else,
exactly.
right?
It depends on how this situation develops and unfolds, you know. And that is it there. It's because if you go and you put 30 days, then by in a May you have to go back.
Go back again.
If you need it this way, we already have it. That don't mean that. I'm telling you right now, if the government could have said, you know, things get back to normal all over the place because the vaccine is across the globe they have found a solution to it, etc. Why would we continue with a state of emergency? It don't make no sense. You know, we'll open it up because we want this economy to get back on its feet. We want the people back to work. We want our tourism industry. We want our kids back in school. The fact is that the government is doing what is necessary to safeguard this country. And of course, nobody wants just to say, well, we want to stay home, etc., and have these restrictions. Every restriction that is being done or every directive that is being put out there is because it is being done by an oversight committee who makes these recommendations on how things should look and move forward. And the state of emergency is just that, is for us to be able to maintain some kind of having people enforce the social distancing, having ensured that we could have the curfew, because if you don't have the state of emergency, people are out all hours than the night. You see people all over the place. You'll have people having large gatherings, you know, and that is not conducive to us remaining COVID-free. So, I mean, it is necessary. But like I said, the 2 months don't mean they run for 2 months. It all depends how things unfold. It might be longer. Maybe they have to go back to the house down the road. Or if things clear up, then maybe within the next 30 days, that might be lifted. It all depends, you know.
Yeah, when it comes to the economy, at what point you believe, let's say that in a month's time, okay, we can open, we can get back to almost normal in Belize, but with the borders closed, to what extent you feel like that will build the economy?
Well, definitely we need to get people back to work. I think people they have a lot of things to do, and I think that at this point in time, government have lifted some restrictions. So you see people going back to construction work, people getting back to their day-to-day activities that they had. Of course, they can't be out after 8 and things like that.
Let's call Minister. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
I have a little story I want to share. Because the morning I called Shakira where Shakira been around the block a couple times, and as a result, quite a few people know me, and they come to me to ask me questions which I don't have the answer to, so I suggest to them, look, call a talk show. And I feel silly after the answer because I said, if I had $5, I would put credit or to buy rice and flour. So I feel a little more obligation for make this call. It involves, I had the privilege of meeting a few landlords who are my friends. And they rent facility for weeks, on a weekly basis, and others rent it on a monthly. And their story to me is that, look, there are people staying on a place and not paying nothing, they feel they can live for free or what? And I tell them, why people who worry about food, not worry about rent right now? And they say, yeah, but they can't live free, they have to drop something. So that is their story. Then I tell them, how much you think they have to pay? Well, I don't know, but they have to drop something. Then I had the privilege of meeting a few tenants who their concern is, boy, I meet my landlord every day, pass me, stop here, me. I live in a place, another pair, and a week's now over. And I tell him, well, go talk to a landlord, man. He said, boy, I'm going to tell you something. That man tell me, one time I skip on rent, I tell me the next time this happens, find someone to go. And we have to accept that landlords of the thousands in the country, they are humans. And you have some reasonable ones, and because they are humans, you have some unreasonable ones. So I'm not going to put my foot to a head in a hole and believe that that now exists. You have a lot of unreasonable people, and you have a lot of good ones. My thing is this, that having people not paying rent is not a good thing, builds the pile up, and then people are forced to stay indoors with very little to do, and then for 30, 40 days you're the worry about the bills, and then aside from that, depression kick in, then that is not the whole story. Everybody is home, the kids, the wife, all the pressures of the social reality is there. You become only time bomb. Then I am wondering, right now the landlord not sure what to do, and the tenant not sure what to do. And like you rightly said, even after we open up, the economy will take some time to get back on foot. So that means more bills than day. I am asking, the landlord don't know what to do, the tenant don't know what to do. So I'm asking, in the conversation that we're having to get back the Belize society on its feet, can't we have something, like I said, the landlord knows what to do, the tenant don't know what to do. Can there be some sort of strategy placed by the people, the powers that be, will give, they're not ask money, then they ask for a solution. In the conversation, we can include some good language to say, this, that the guidelines we expect for this situation. They don't have money, they can't pay, but we are suggesting this type of culture, this is the thing we expect from the landlord, this I expect from the tenant. It will take some time, but some language in the conversation will put both the tenant and the landlord at ease. Because obviously my conversation with them, none of them know what to do and how to do it. So in the conversation, the narrative that we talk about, can there be some sort of guidelines from the authorities so that both of them can understand what their responsibility, because it's not fair. We are doing a good job of getting rid of the coronavirus. But rest assured, with the broad sweeping effect of this pandemic, there are a lot of real sad stories and that need solutions and need some guidelines. So we're doing a good job of getting rid of the coronavirus, but believe if we don't do something about it, we'll be plagued with corona stress. And stress is a sickness. It's a psychological thing that could get real bad if you're locked in with your family, you're a time bomb. So is there some kind of language could be included as a guideline so that there are two parties, the landlord and the tenant, in our confusion, know that this are the discipline what we expect by the powers that be. Like I say, I feel more obligation to call because, you know, I hear the stories out there. Can you throw some light on that, please?
Thank you, Carla.
Yeah, thank you, Carla. You know, like I said, like we were talking earlier, Chaki, this coronavirus, the impacts are not just the matter that we deal with the virus. It has the other impacts in terms of how it impacts our economy, how it impacts personal lives, you know. And then, like the Carla said, of course, we have tough times right now, tough times. Some people feel it worse than others, etc. It impacts every walk of life in our country. And of course, he's talking about tenants and he's talking about landlords. I mean, definitely that is an area of concern. I think he's saying what can be done in what language. I don't know. I know that maybe the HE has to look at those things. They are the experts in terms of this. But my humble advice is that what the arrangements you have if you're a tenant or if you're a landlord, I mean, within a crisis, I think people should communicate and then say, and it is your social and obligation, your responsibility as a tenant to pay your rent. You know, if I get a house from you, Chucky, my obligation is to pay you because you rent me your house and I am living in your home. We have an arrangement. I have to try to find the money. It is a social responsibility I have to try to do for meet it. During this time, of course, difficulties are there because I made the work, I know the work, so I know they make the money. How will I pay the rent? You know, but I think it is about communication. It's about say, check it by this week I only could drop only 50 for you, but I work on paying the rest as soon as I could get on my foot, etc. And I think it's coming to some kind of understanding, but you can't negate your responsibility and say, well, because of COVID, well, me not pay nothing. I don't think that should be the case. And I think that like any other area, you have challenges. You have challenges where I think it's about communicating and seeing what can be done. Government is trying to assist people, I think, for a lot of those people who are not working and applied whether they get their financial assistance of $150, that is to assist them to carry on.
Yeah.
You know, and that 150 people say might not give, but I think it is a great help. They are getting it every 2 weeks.
Yeah, like you say, they're not everything, but if you could drop something.
And I think that definitely, I think maybe the Attorney General could discuss on these matters. And I know they have a show that's called Ask the Experts, maybe every day, every 2 days.
Yeah.
I think we could maybe ask those questions. I definitely, when I see him, I will ask him what is happening in terms of that. I know the state of emergency calls for that you can't kick out people out of their homes and stuff like that. But definitely, I do think that it is a responsibility that you as a tenant must have. The landlord must have some compassion, likewise, and understanding. But I think they have to meet in between, one way or the other, and see what you do, because you have some people who never they work in the first place.
Yeah, and then got some people who will just be the catch a killer. Some people,
exactly.
No, they get none at all. But Minister, before I touch this point, I want to go a little bit further. I remember when the PM spoke, he was saying that some of the banks were giving some grace period if you could make arrangement, because they have some.
But 3 months, I think they were given.
Yeah.
Central Bank, he directed Central Bank to put out a directive
for the lending institutions
that they give 3 months hold on terms of the principal, interest, and things like that.
Yeah, because what happened to some of the landlords, right?
Yeah.
Some of them make investment.
Right.
And some of them go to the banks
and borrow
to build these places and borrow, and they have to pay. Right. So if they find out right now the tenants can't pay, then I think they should need to go to the bank and try to make that arrangement and say, you know what, I made this loan to make these apartments, but then the persons that my tenants, they can't pay right now, so I want to make the arrangement to see if I can get that grace period, and probably when their people start working, then we can start paying again, no?
Yeah. And I think they have to look at those things. I think government tried by going to the banks, not only for tenants, but for a lot of people who have mortgages, who owe the bank business, people who have borrowed. I mean, imagine you have to pay interest and principal and they make the money. It's really tough. And I think government has asked all the banks to put on hold these things for 3 months. So, I mean, definitely, there's not a person in this community of ours in Belize who can't say we not get affected by the COVID. We do, everybody, and everybody has their challenges, and I do. I am sympathetic to the caller because, of course, I mean, if you don't want landlord, then this is no good time for you, because the funds not come through, easy for get money from people, because the challenges where people never they work, etc. That is why right now when we get up this morning and hear that Belize is COVID free, I mean, what does that say to us? What people are back to work from Monday, you could say. People have been out now moving around. Of course, not everybody, because there are still certain areas, where restrictions are still there, but nevertheless, we 3 weeks ago compared to now, we are far much better in terms of people getting back. Of course, our tourism industry is still devastated right now, in that people not work. You got man who own a boat and can't carry no fisher folks out there for pleasure, for fishing for pleasure. So there are challenges, but at the end of the day, I believe that internally we'll get back on our feet internally, and it is only a matter of time to see how other countries fare out before we open up these borders. But for the time being, I think that this COVID-19, we have to understand the seriousness of this, and we must understand that if we want to move forward properly, it will not come without some kind of sacrifice and things like that, and challenges. Like I say, I'm sympathetic to that caller, and of course there are a lot of other scenarios out there which are affecting people, and I'm sympathetic with it, but these are some of the things, and definitely I will bring up that issue in terms of the tenants and that to the AG and them, and see if there's anything else they can put out there, no?
Hello, good morning, muy buenos días.
Yes, hello.
Hello, morning.
Hi, morning.
Buenos días. Estoy llamando en son dos preguntas que quiero hacer.
All right.
Vamos a ver lo que ayudan de la pensión a uno esta semana.
¿El pensión?
Ajá.
Ok.
La pensión de la semana para la fecha 8.
Ok. Esa es tu primera pregunta. ¿El otro uno?
Es que hay una tienda aquí en Joaquín que no está llamando a las reglas del COVID-19 que yo quiero ver si vienen a chequear porque no quiere todavía. Salga uno andando ahí adentro.
¿En San Joaquín?
San Joaquín, es una tienda que lo chequeen.
¿Qué es que está pasando?
No está llevando la regla de lo que es.
Oh, ok.
¿Entendió? Entonces yo lo chequean. Yo quiero saber la pensión si va a haber.
Okay.
Ok, muchas gracias, pues.
Okay.
In terms of pension, I believe that should be being carried out. Like I tell you, financially, I am not fully aware. I know the oversight committee is there, but of course, through the Ministry of Finance, I don't see why pensions should stop. I don't have the direct information in regards to the CALA to say if it will come out or not come out. As far as I know, things operate in terms of the Ministry of Finance as per normal in terms of pension, because these are monies that are due to people.
Those pensions come through the government, directly from the government funds, or through Social Security?
They'll come through Social Security and through government, definitely.
Okay.
But he's calling if pensions will be paid. I don't know if the pensions were stopped. I don't think they were stopped. Well, maybe I might be wrong. I don't know.
Right.
So I can't give an answer right now because I wouldn't want to give a wrong response in terms of that.
His second
I will
point,
have to find out in regards to that. No, but I think it is a valid point.
Sure, yeah.
I know there are people who are retired teachers and stuff like that who and people who have let's say moved on and they're trying to get their gratuity and pension. I know that those a lot of those are at the Ministry of Finance, and right now this week people I know personnel from the Ministry of Education, Public Service, Finance are getting back to work. So I think all of these things will be looked up. I know there may be some backlog there that has to be done. But when the COVID come and the lockdown come, people never they work. So not even public servants were going to offices. Yeah. So that created a backlog. But I'm sure that this week people getting back to work, all of these things should be looked at now.
Yeah. Hello, good morning, Sugar City Morning Show. Hello, good morning.
Okay, morning.
Yes, morning, sir.
Minister, morning.
Morning.
Up front, I'd like to thank you for your words that you will be looking into it with the Attorney General. And I'm sure that a lot of people are listening right now.
Yeah, just lower the volume of your television, caller, please. Yeah, just lower the volume on your television because we have a feedback, no? Yes, hello?
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, caller, go ahead.
First, I would like to thank the Minister for his comment about seeing the AG about doing something about this rental situation. I'm thankful for that because I'm sure a lot of these people are listening and are grateful that something will be done about it. But I believe that if the powers that be instructed the banks to put an easement on loans and mortgages, and banks are big institutions, I'm sure that something could be worked out for the landlords and tenants. It's a smaller job, but above all, I'd like to thank the Minister for his forefrontness in saying that he will be talking to the AG about it and see what can be worked out. I'd like to thank him, and I'm sure the people who are listening, the tenants and the landlords who have this confusion, are more thankful. So thank you, Minister.
Yeah, no problem, Carla.
Yeah.
Definitely, I think it has to be looked at. And what are the bottom line? I mean, that is a private contract between the landlord and the tenant. And I think that a lot of it has to be done with communication. If I rent for you, check it, at least I have to tell you, why check it this month, I only go drop only 100 or only 50 this week.
Yeah, or whatever.
Listen to me, and this I said, we are work out something, don't worry.
Yeah.
I think it is about communication. I mean, during this time, I don't think government could fix every single person issue.
Yeah.
Because it's just not possible. But I do think that a lot is dependent on that relationship between the landlord and tenant. And of course, like I said, I only could bring up this to the AG and hear if there's any legal advice he has on that, or otherwise, But,
yeah.
So.
The second point that the caller made from San Joaquin, saying that the shop in San Joaquin are not practicing the social distancing
rules or whatever.
Yeah. But let's get this call and then they are not practicing, but I believe not only in San Joaquin but some other shops as well. What's your take on that?
Well, I think that like I said, we as a nation, everybody in a business, everybody who's here in Belize right now as Belizeans, we have a social responsibility. If I had a shop owner, I have to ensure that we abide by the social distancing rules, that I'm not breaking rules for me to open as a store owner,
Yeah, you put yourself at risk and your employees and everybody. Hello, good morning, Sugar City Morning Show. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning to you all. We have great news. We are COVID. We cannot say COVID free, but we are thankful to God that we have 0 active cases in Belize.
Yes, sir.
We would like to extend sincere gratitude to the government of Belize for taking the appropriate measures in time, and definitely to our people, our lovely Belizeans who are being their brother's keeper. Minister, good morning.
Yeah, morning, sir.
We are faced with economic hardships. I know that not only the country, but you too. You too are in a financial constraint. We know that you have given one of your salaries, 1 month's salary, along with some other cuts. And despite that, I noticed that you are still reaching out to your people from the East. We are so grateful for that, Minister. My family thanks you. Keep doing that wonderful work. You have your people at heart, and God bless Belize. Gentlemen, have a nice day.
Yeah, thank you, Carla.
Very much,
Thank you.
Carla. Minister, he's saying that you are reaching the persons from the East, which you represent, which is good. But you try your best, but how you feel like when you really can't reach the next amount of people that you don't want to really reach?
Yeah, well, it's. I think everybody, if we do our part, I think we could be a better Belize. I mean, we live in communities, we live in our streets, we know the neighbors around us, we know our people, and I think that everybody have a responsibility. Like I always say, we have to be our brothers and sisters' keeper.
Yes, yes.
In a time of crisis, just like when you live in your neighborhood, you have to look out for one another's property.
You know your neighbors, right?
Exactly, yeah. And it is not easy, I could tell you, because since this thing has transpired, it has been a real challenge. I mean, but we are working out there. I've been working, trying to reach out to people, those most in need, as best as I can, for assistance with some provisions, and we have done that. We have been doing it all this week again, reaching out to people and trying to help those most in need, and of course trying to expand the program likewise. And this is not a government program, I must say that, Checky. This is strictly from the efforts of myself and the East Committee, the UDP East Committee, that we come together and work on these things, and of course through the generous support from our business people across this country and other people who have come together to help. That is the way we have gotten it out there. And I will tell you, I've seen the love of our Belizean people, especially our community people, because I know we take pantry to some people, and people say, tell Minister, make it give it to somebody else who need it.
Yeah, that's good.
And when I get those requests back, I feel so good. You know why? Because it shows that we are caring for one another. Give it to the less fortunate. This man, my neighbor down the road, might need it more. Give it to him. And that shows the understanding and love that we have for one another. And I wish everybody would be like that. We have that responsibility, social responsibility for one another.
Yeah, sure. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, good morning, sir.
This is from Minister.
Okay. Just lower your television, please, so you don't get the feedback. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, I just want to mention already.
Yeah, go ahead, Carla.
I just want to mention already testimony.
Okay.
I was with a friend. I was with a friend, and And so I was with a friend. I was going shopping and I met a friend.
Yeah, just lower the television, Carla, please.
Alright.
Would you leave feedback? Would you hear you good? But just lower the television.
Yeah, right now?
Yeah, go ahead, sir. Would you hear you better now?
Yeah, well, this is all the testimony. I'm at work going towards the grocery store to do some shopping. And I met this gentleman and his wife working. This is a testimony for minister. And he mentioned to me, he said, boy, Minister, I'm going cool each day for drop some food at my house. But my wife and my son, they gone out, and I'm in the bathroom. So I heard them, but I couldn't come out because I'm in the bathroom. He said, and the man, they made issue food assistance. He said, I'll tell you what, I had a big PUP. My family had a PUP. And the only reason why I never get it, they come in the bathroom. But at the drop there for drop something for me, he may drop there. So the man really know they discriminate for colors. Because the only reason why I never get it, because in the bathroom. But he did go there. But my wife and my son were out, and I was in the bathroom, and I heard the noise, and I saw the people outside issuing food. So let me thank him anyway. I just want to share that with you.
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
Thank you, Carla.
That's the spirit, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, we have to reach out to the most in need, you know, and it's not easy sometimes. Because politics are a tough animal. I know I trick you.
Yeah.
But
We're not
we
about
try
politics
to
right
reach
now,
out to
though.
the most of need, and right now, of course, you know, the organization that we bring forth in terms of the UDP's committee and myself. We have done it the second time, you know. We have reached out with provisions and not just the rice, beans, and flour. We have added other little things to assist. And I will say that we're trying to reach out to even more people, because in this point in time, there are people, everybody needs right now. There's not one person who you know talk to who don't need wali help.
Everybody needs.
And then sometimes traditionally you say, well, this person, not this family, they don't need. They always are look all right. But
you know,
when you meet them people, sometimes they say, Aragon. I mean, you might say I don't need, because usually I never think. But right now at the book, my wife's sick. Maybe money is where me come in done, and I know the work because of this will happen, and you might not know the situation, you know. So we are trying to expand, because at the end of the day, I think everybody has a need, you know. And I wish I had the money that I could have just everybody, every household would get. But you know, we are trying. We are really trying, and we are trying to identify the people who we believe needs it the most, you know.
Yeah,
that is what we are doing, and it's not easy. But that to me, the thing is that if we do it genuinely, I think that we reach out to a lot of people.
Yeah, about the pension, somebody said the pension was paid on 2nd April. We got 2 months until the 5th of June.
Okay.
All right, so that's good. That person receive a payment. So I think that answer what the caller asked. But
and I think for a lot of those people, check it. There are people out there who, you know, when this COVID thing start and a lot of public servants stop working, a lot of people papers never continue move nowhere, because you know the offices won't open. But I think right now all public offices are open right now. So I do see those things now returning back in terms of moving forward, you know. For people
Minister Booth spoke yesterday, and he was saying that all the offices for the human development over the country are open now. So if persons have queries that they would like to answer, any information, they can go to the offices now countrywide.
I think because it's all the offices are now open, so I think people have access to those, no?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And check it, just to add, you know, I know Human Development is assisting with the food pantry program, assisting people who need help and who have called in and applied for these things. And I think they are doing a tremendous task across the country. It's not the times. And I will tell you this, Cheki, as a representative right now, throughout all the programs that government has done, whether the food pantry program, the financial assistance program, there's nothing that comes through any representative. So anytime you hear anybody talk about the POP, they get disadvantage,
or the minister, the control,
or Nothing like that. There's nothing whatsoever coming through the offices or the representatives.
So if I apply,
not even a grain.
If I apply for a pantry, I apply for a pantry, or I apply for the unemployment relief fund, if I go to you,
I can't help you. There's no recommendation I could give you. There's nothing I can do for you. That is being looked over by a committee. I have no play in that, none whatsoever.
And that goes for our representatives.
Our representatives countrywide, and government has taken that role because government doesn't want this to be political. This is a crisis, etc. So they're ensuring that people can't say, oh, minister, just make sure people get taken care of and this and that, or only UDPs that take help.
Yeah.
You know, and that is the reality. So I just wanted to point that out there, because sometimes you will feel that, oh, you go call and say, or make them get check the 150,
yeah,
or make it get pantry.
Or why want to talk to the minister? The minister.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. But you know, and nothing comes true. And the program that I do, because I think the greatest help I can do right now for the masses in my division is looking at the food, while putting out some provisions together for people.
Is that coming from government?
No, that not a grain comes from government. Everything comes from the work that we can do as a committee, the support that I get from our business people, things that I can bring together, both personally and otherwise, and that is what I've been doing and reaching out to our people within our communities.
Yes.
And like I say, I can't do for every single person because it's just not there. It's not within my reach, but nevertheless, I think we do a tremendous job in reaching out to those most in need within our communities. No?
Yeah. All right, Minister, well, we'll take one break at 8:30, and we will be back right here. We go up until 9 o'clock this morning. Today is Wednesday, it's the 6th day of May 2020. Minister Aragon and Robert Cheke Usher will be right here, back on the Sugar City Morning Show, right here live on television on North Television Channel 10 and also on the East Radio. So we'll be right back after these messages right here on North Television Channel 10.
It's for a picnic or in your kitchen. You need the meat. Gillette's Meat Shop proudly offers a variety of juicy cuts such as processed meats, ham, bacon, salami, longaniza, and sugar cure ham, just to mention a few. Enjoy our meats in beef, pork, and mutton. So for that healthy cut your family enjoys, visit us at number 18 San Antonio Road in Orange Walk from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 1:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 12:30 and 3 to 5 p.m. Sundays, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Place your orders at 322-3486 or 322-2175 or even 610-4061. Send us an email at derekgillett31@gmail.com. Gillette's Meat Shop, fresh and processed meats.
Ay, qué rico. World-class spaces for Belizean athletes to thrive and fans to enjoy. Our new basketball and multi-purpose arenas have proven their worth, attracting regional and international sporting events and hosting expos, conferences, and proud graduates. Your government moving Belize forward.
The Philip Goldson Highway between Belize City and the Philip Goldson International Airport is getting a major facelift to the tune of $31.5 million. Section B of the highway upgrading project between Haulover Bridge and the Buttonwood Bay Boulevard roundabout is underway at an investment of $21 million. Works consist of the full rehabilitation of the road to paved standard, which includes the widening of the road to 4 lanes, lined sidewalks and drains, wide shoulders, median, and parking plus a bus lane at designated sections of the road. LED road lighting will be installed along with road safety features such as signs, reflectors, and road markings. The project will also facilitate in the improvement of underground infrastructure for the public utility companies. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Everybody wants a clean and healthy family. That's why they purchase the best food products and the cleansing materials. This time, we give you a bigger size of La Costeña products like the mouth-watering fried beans and the pasta sauce. And surely for your clean laundry, we have the breathtaking aroma of Ensueño Max Suavitel. Even your visitors will ask what you clean your floors and restrooms with. And you can boast it is the variety of Pinol products and Sultan muriatic acid now in 900 milliliters. And much more for the best prices only at German Vega and Sons Imports. We serve you at number 5 San Antonio Road, Orange Walk Town. You can even call us at 322-3625 or 322-2672. Or you can even send us a fax at 322-2571 or email us at germanvega@btl.net. German Vega and Sons Limited, because we care for you.
Have you ever noticed the development that's taking place in your town or in your city? Maybe it's because you've been too busy enjoying the results. More for Belizeans, more for Belize, the government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Take a journey with us to endless possibilities. Our future as a country is now. DigiNet Boost is countrywide. Taking Belize into the future, a nationwide technological evolution. As the most advanced fiber connection, DigiNet Boost is a step forward into a modern world. Belize is powered by DigiNet. DigiNet Boost, now available countrywide.
Six cylinders to pure potential and better performance.
It looks like it vibrates. You think it could be the horsepower?
With a quart of oil and the calibration of the injectors, it will start to get the watchers again on the street.
We take a motor to its optimal level. We speak machine, Rush Franz, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega and Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. It's 23 minutes now away from 9 o'clock. Minister Aragon and Robert Checker Usher right here live on North Television Channel 10 and on the East Radio 104.9. We want to say good morning once again to the folks there in the East Radio era. Minister, when the Attorney General did the appearance on Ask the Experts, people were asking about food. How food are being served. We got restaurant, we understand that takeout and call in. And they said the people who were selling tacos, they could have it in an enclosed place.
Yeah.
And people just do orders.
Right. I think, like I said, the people affected right now, of course, people who have restaurants, not they open per se, you could go and you get it to go, you could order to go, and that is okay. In terms of our tacos vendors, the people who sell barbecue, you can do that on your private property and to go, you know.
Yeah.
So that can carry on, but just in that same manner that you said, you know, you can't have one stall where all the public there, not on the street side and things like that. That is not allowed as yet. But definitely you, like I see some tacos vendors are doing, I know some people who sell barbecue are doing.
Yes.
They do it and then you could come pick it up and carry, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean that is the situation right now. I'm hoping that those things will be, as we progress with time, I think maybe within the next week or so, 2 weeks from now, you go here, we lift that up so people could get them tacos and stuff like that. But you know, like I said, some of these restrictions are being lifted step by step as we move forward with this. And I think every day you get up and you hear good news that when we don't have no active cases of COVID, etc. All of that lends itself to opening the internal economy of the country even more. And I think that is important. Getting back to some kind of normalcy within our country, I think that is very important for people. But again, like I said, Jackie, it comes down to ensuring that we remain with no active cases in Belize. And how we do that has a lot to do with our people, our Belizean people, ensuring and also with our security forces to ensure that we keep our borders closed.
Yeah. Minister, when we go back to the economic part of it, I want to talk about the restaurant, the tacos vendors, and even home. Your stove is something that you have to light up every day. We understand that the new national butane gas company is coming online. How we stand when it comes to availability of butane in the country? Do you believe we will run out? Or?
No, none at all. I think that the LPG company, in terms of the national gas company of Belize, I think that they are well prepared. I think right now we have enough. From what they have said, there's enough butane that is in this country, so we shouldn't have a problem with that, none at all. You know, it is a transition moving from where we were to the national gas company now, and I think things will flow fairly well. I believe that they have set up locations across this country, and of course that will continue to see gas being distributed across the country. So I don't see a problem with that, none at all. But like I said, it is a transition that we're going. You all know that we had the local, not the local, I would say the old importers of butane had taken the government to court in regards to this, and they have lost their case both at the Supreme Court level, if I'm not mistaken, and at the Court of Appeal, you know.
Yes.
And I think Ms. Matura is a liar. Ms. Matura, I think, if I'm not mistaken, had mentioned that she will now take it to the Privy Council. I don't see they winning any case there either, because at the end of the day, the government is just ensuring that we have a national gas company that will benefit the country. And of course, I think the government has a stake in that company. And when I mean government, on behalf of the people of Belize. So, you know, I think after 10 years, everything reverts to the government or to the people of Belize. So I think that's good.
Hello, good morning, muy buenos días.
Buenos días. Yo quiero negociar eso de la pensión. Quiero darles a saber que el mes de abril nos pagaron el mes de abril. Entonces, todos dijeron, si es que vale para este mes de mayo, pues no hay problema, porque ya está pagado. Pero si nos van a pagar de mayo para que pague de junio, pues ya se cobra. Pero si no hay nada, yo no voy a ir a pararme de sol. Lo que quiero, no te molestes si no barata, porque ya nos dieron dos. Pero esos dos estoy cogiendo que es abril y mayo. ¿Oyó?
Ya.
Solo quiero que me aclaren a ver cómo está esto. No hay nada para este viernes, pues espero hasta junio. Pero yo quiero saber si hay o no hay.
He just wants to know if they get the pension or they have to wait until June, make have to catch line.
Well, I can't get an answer because I don't know about the finances in terms of that. But I think it's best if you look somebody at the offices, you know, that work in dealing with the pension, and that our social security or through the Ministry of Finance.
I believe it's well. But Minister, going back to the butane company, where does this benefit the consumers and the Belizean public when it comes to a national company?
One being a national company, they're just like with the fuel. That will be a controlled price. That means that we don't have no more the games that, you know, up and down and undersell the local market. You know, where the maximum control in terms that we had, I think, one major company controlling all how the butane is imported in this country, and then decide for set the price what they want today, tomorrow. With
so
this,
they have the control of setting their prices?
Well, to a large extent, and until of course recently when government begin to put and set one price on it mandatorily. But I think that at this point in time now we be just like the fuel. When the fuel come in, gets this the butane gets distributed just like the fuel that the gas and the vehicle super premium or whatever.
That's a control price.
So once that lands that price, there's no two ways that you could say, well, you could say I sell it at so and so. No, it is a set price, and that is what it will be sold across the country.
The national company will be still having the local retailers selling, or you have to go directly to buy from the national company?
No, that all they are doing is they are the importers for butane now. And what will happen, the distribution will fall right down in all the local distributors that we have. They'll go buy the fuel and do what they do right now, resell it.
Okay, so it will be a control price. Like if you go to the Gas Plus right now, go buy gas.
Yeah.
And you go to 24-hour or Uno, anyway, the price is standard.
Yeah.
It's the same price. So it will be the same thing with the butane?
Yes, yes. Just like fuel. Like what you buy for your vehicle, the same way it will be operated. You know, you got, I think that Uno bring in the fuel, or Puma. I think that one of them brings it in for the country. If I'm not mistaken, I think it is Uno that brings it in. And they bring it in, they're the importers, and after that it is distributed to all gas stations, you know.
Yeah.
And then if the fuel is a set price, with the national gas company, we will ensure that nobody could hold this country hostage and say, well, you know what, I know bring butane, but I know sell it at this price and all kind of thing. This way we'll have how would I put it, ease in terms of we can know that nobody will hold the government hostage. That butane will be coming in and it will be set at a price. And at the end of the day, the national gas company will revert to Belizeans in 10 years' time, if I'm not mistaken. 10 years' time, everything goes back to the government of Belize. And moreover, the government of Belize at this point in time has a stake in the gas company where they have a percentage, if I'm not mistaken, I think about 25% in the company. So that, again, to me, it is good because like when you rent your house, if you rent a house, you rent for 10 years and any day, everything you pay, you don't get nothing because you don't own it.
Mm-hmm.
But now that you have it, you build it yourself, and you have a stake in there, any day you get something back. Plus, after 10 years, it belongs to the people of this country.
So when you see this transition from one to the next, there shouldn't be any issues like, okay, we just this transition, so we can't sell right now.
No, I don't think so. I think, they have to. It is a demand and supply kind of thing. So, definitely, from what I have known and what I've seen across the country, I know the new LPG gas company has been setting up countrywide, and they are prepared to supply Belizeans across this country. So,
okay. Do you know if they will only be doing supplies like to retailers, or they will have a depot that you can go there and fill up as well?
No, all they will do is import. They have their, I
okay.
think right here in Orangewauk up the road, you see one
place.
I
see a station there.
That they will do. So all the people who are in the butane business right now, they are just to go on, they purchase it and then they resell it.
Okay.
So they will get the kind of wholesale price, like with the fuel.
Mm-hmm.
You get it from Puma or Uno or wherever, come and then you sell it, but you sell it at a controlled price. So they're not like you could say, well, I start selling my butane higher than this one and that one. No, it will be across the country.
Yeah.
Wherever you go, the butane should be the same price.
And it will be at the same level when it comes to consumption, no?
Right. So I don't think we will have, I don't foresee any problem there. And as far as I know that the importation of LPG is there. The new company has already set up. So okay. I think only time will tell. But I foresee, of course, you have one transition period taking place in terms that we are moving from one to the other.
Yeah.
You know,
do you welcome these types of moves?
Who?
Do you welcome these types of moves when it comes to the national butane company?
I think so because definitely, I think a country, when you talk about national security, it's not only about the police, military, Coast Guard and things. It's about, when you talk about national security, you talk about food security. That means we're supposed to have one country where we can depend on our own food. Because if we not depend on our food and we depend on having to import rice, beans, sugar, flour, all of these things, then we are dependent on that. If something happen out there, then security-wise, and we don't have the food, it creates a problem for us. So
true.
When you talk about security, it's not only about the military, etc., where people usually look at. It is about food security. It is about fuel security. I mean, with government control and not like somebody could hold us hostage and that. All of these things, I think, lend itself to a better country, you know.
Yeah. Hello, good morning, Carla.
Yes, buenos días, Tequi.
Buenos días. ¿Cómo está, amigo?
Honorable.
Good morning. Buenos días, amigo.
Yo quiero tomar esta oportunidad para sumarme a los miles de peliceños, a darle gracias a Dios, ¿no? Que por lo menos hasta ahorita ya estamos libres de esta pestilencia. Y también a usted y al gobierno por tomar la iniciativa de todas las buenas cosas que han transcurrido durante esta etapa, ¿no? Y yo quisiera, a través de este medio, sabemos de que pues, la pandemia ha traído varias consecuencias, y las consecuencias realmente va a ser sentido no solo ahorita, sino por lo menos unos 2 o 3 años, ¿verdad? Por ejemplo, la industria turística se ha ido al suelo, y hasta que los Estados Unidos posiblemente haya salido de eso, ¿no? Y Europa posiblemente vamos a regresar otra vez a una nueva norma. Pero hay ciertas cosas que tal vez podemos hacer para, de una manera u otra, mitigar los efectos de lo que la ciudadanía pueda sentir, ¿no? Y la área donde yo creo que debemos de enfocarnos ahora sería la agricultura. Aquel día noté y escuché de que Honorable Wilfred Arrington estaba mencionando de que el Caribe se está acercando más a Belice en cuestión de importe de ciertas cosas agrícolas. Y es una buena apertura, ¿no? Es una buena puerta que se nos abrió para nosotros. Allá, a través de ese medio, yo creo que debemos de instigar o posiblemente cambiar la dirección en el sector agrícola. Posiblemente enfocarnos un poco más en cooperativismo, para que así podamos tal vez fomentar producciones en granos, en aves o lo que sea. Ahorita ya se acerca la lluvia, posiblemente a través de su ministerio, hacer accesible a nuestros agricultores semillas como de maíz, frijol y estas cosas, ¿no? Para que así vayamos produciendo más. Sabemos que ahorita no nos sentimos porque estábamos como llaman, autosuficientes en todo lo que es la canasta básica, que es arroz, frijol, pollo, res, puerco, ¿no? Pero tal vez podemos hacer un poco más para que podamos vender, y de esta manera posiblemente traer los recursos que realmente vamos a necesitar, porque obviamente, como mencioné, la industria turística va a tomar un poco de tiempo para que se vaya regresando a su norma normal, ¿no? Así que a través de ese medio yo creo que sí podemos acceder a la gente, semillas de vegetales, porque otra cosa sabemos de que las verduras solo le toma unas 20 personas producir un acre de verduras y ya podemos saturar el mercado local. Pero ahorita si podemos enfocarnos al exporte de estas cosas y traer los recursos, ¿no?, extranjeros que realmente necesitamos, ¿no? Es una sugerencia mía. No sé qué opina el ministro.
Seman, sí, te escucho bien y pienso que tienes bastante razón en eso, ¿no? Sí. En esas cosas tenemos que ver.
Por ejemplo, yo reconozco que, por ejemplo, fíjate, Champarit era una de las áreas donde se producía bastante sandía, toda cosa de suelo que está enterrado en el suelo, como chispotitos, cazabas y otras cosas. Igualmente Santa Marta, de allá podías conseguir coco, macal, yuca todo el año. Así que si podíamos posiblemente levantar una especie de banco de estas comodidades, para que se vaya otra vez integrando, ¿no? Integrando ya este tipo de cultivos en estas áreas. Así, de esa manera podemos nosotros ser más sostenibles que nunca, ¿no? Por ejemplo, Trinidad Trinidad y St. Lucia y todas las áreas en Vincent, ellos consumen bastante sweet potatoes, consumen bastante macal y esas cosas. Tal vez es una área en la que podemos enfocar. ¿Me entiendes?
Sí.
Sí, y ahorita podemos golpear la puerta más porque obviamente están más receptivos para conseguir todo este tipo de comodidades. Eso no, que antes hablábamos de que nosotros teníamos la canasta básica para el Caribe, pero nunca se elaboraba porque pues ellos tenían trabas también, ¿no?
Right.
Pero ahora ya que ellos lo están fomentando, yo creo que entonces podemos abrir y ya negociar. Pero tenemos que tener todos estos nichos en puesto, ¿no? Por ejemplo, el banco de semillas, posiblemente los técnicos, los extensionistas, para ir dándole la parte agronómico a los agricultores para que así se vaya incentivando y llegando a etapa a lo que queremos exportar. ¿Me entiendes?
Ok, pues muchas gracias, Carla, porque ya vamos a cerrar.
Ok, no hay problemas.
Okay,
buenos días,
Gracias, muchas gracias.
Yeah, Minister, before we go, I have two texts. Somebody want to know if you know what's the price of the butane right now.
Right now, I don't have that with me right now.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to give that any other wrong information in terms of the butane, in terms of the gas I have.
Okay.
I think that more than likely that will be published though. I am sure that will be known across the country as to what the cost is. No?
Yeah, it will be one control price, right?
One control price.
And somebody sent a text here, says so many taxes from Corozal. I have counted about 10 taxes and they come full, and I believe that the country, and they believe that the country is open equally on all districts. What is the police doing? I think Mr. Aragon needs to check into this and do something about it.
Taxes for where is it? Just
Corozal.
Coming where? In Corozal?
I'm not sure if he's saying that they are coming into different districts, but they said taxes from Corozal are coming full.
Yeah, well, I have to make the police look into it, but I know we have police, immigration, personnel out there, at the borders and stuff like that, so.
Yeah.
We have to look at those things, but definitely check just to add to what Ikala had said, I think definitely, we were talking about security, national security, and a lot of it has to do with our food security.
True. Yes.
We have to look at the having security in everything in our things like butane, things like fuel and all of that. We're not get to that level as yet, Most of all of our fuel is still imported, but nevertheless, the more control we have over those, the better it is for our nation in the short, medium, and long term. That is what I personally think, and especially with this national gas company, at the end of the day, after 10 years, everything reverts back to the government. So I think that is very good, because at the end of the day, the people of this country will own that, and that is big money. Let nobody fool you. That is big money. That just like the fuel coming in. That is something that is a necessity. That is something that everybody uses. So in that light, I think it is something good.
And it will always be available to the consumers.
That's right, and it's a controlled price, so you know where you get. But in terms of the agriculture aspect, I do think that definitely we could work. And if you look at the crisis time, like the Carla rightly mentioned, you look at the chicken, the rice, the beans, these are
the poultry, the high too.
You look at the beef, the pork, all of these things, Belize never they worry like we don't have enough. We had more than enough, because you had man there out there. I know I assisted with the Mennonites, and we went village to village and then sell a lot of live chicken out there, So in terms of that, we are sustainable.
Yeah.
But of course, what the Kala mentioned in terms of agriculture, no. Apart from those aspects, you have other things that maybe the country could look at to be self-sufficient. And I do believe there's room for that, definitely. And we will have to look at that to see how we can assist and develop farmers and the Belizean economy to support and work together with them, to create a stronger security in terms of food security for this country. And I think he made some very, very important points.
Minister, somebody said good morning. I guess this is getting the LPG business in order, and it's good. The same move needs to be done with the bus service. I believe we have the worst bus service ever. Please put in order something He says sometimes it is hard to accept changes, but it must be given time to see how it works. He said it's normally for the good. Right? So when a new company come on board, you know, we have to look, there is issues when things happen, but we have
There's
to...
a change, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and of course the person when they left, the all important, they're not happy.
Yeah.
You understand me? So they're not like they will have any good thing to say about what is happening.
Yeah.
And
But this is not to take anybody out of business, it's to benefit the entire country, right?
Exactly.
And the government makes the move in the interest of the people.
That's right.
Well, Minister, it has been a great morning, and it's 2 minutes to 9. Your closing remarks for today?
Yeah, well, you know, Chekia, just like I said, it's always a pleasure for me being here at the Channel 10, this Norte Vision talk show. You know, it's always a pleasure when I come on me and you sit down and we chat. You know,
have a discussion.
Course, you know, it's an avenue for us to speak to the public out there, and you know, discuss the kind of issues that need to be discussed. My closing remarks is that one, I think that Belize has done well, tremendously well, and I say that with pride because, you know, being a part of the government of the day, I mean, it goes to show the kind of leadership that this government has in terms of being able to come together, anticipate the challenges, anticipate the kind of situations that we will come and meet through this COVID, and being able to put in place certain measures to safeguard Belize and Belizeans. I think our government has done up to now a tremendous task, being able as a government to say we will not politicize this. We will ensure we have an oversight committee. We'll ensure we have the kind of task force to ensure that the help that is being given goes across the board, no matter if you're a POP, UDP, or whatever. It will be as best as possible, being done objectively to serve the greater needs of the people. And I think that is tremendous. It speaks volumes of this government, and I'm proud to know that has taken place. Nothing come through, no politician. It makes life harder for us, no problem. And I think that at the end of the day, it serves the greater good of this nation. At the end of the day, as a representative, you know, I continue to do what I can to assist the people in my division, and I think that we have done a tremendous amount of work, and we will discuss this long after this COVID is over.
Yes.
But nevertheless, I do want to say that at the end of the day, government has done a tremendous task, you know, and everybody involved with whatever oversight committee and stuff, and being able to get the opposition leader to come on board and support everything, I think that is good. Likewise, I do think that at the end of the day, today we woke up this morning knowing that the last 2 cases tested negative, and so right now you could say we don't got no COVID, but I would want to stress to all Belizeans across this country, it is up to us. We as Belizeans have a social responsibility to one another, and we must ensure that we do not put at risk this entire nation, you know, and so people who might say, well, I live along the border, I just want to shut cross and get this and come back. You are putting the entire nation at risk if you do this. Our borders are closed for a reason, and that reason is to ensure we don't bring the virus into this country. You know, and it is important for us to keep it that way because it benefits everybody. In the last 2 to 3 weeks, people are getting back to a certain normalcy in terms of the internal economy of this country. And I do think that we want to continue to see that. I think people are glad to be able to go back and do some construction work, glad to be back moving around and doing their livelihood, etc. And I think we want to keep it that way. We want to know that maybe within the next month or 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks, whatever, we are lifting more of the restrictions. You know, but that can only come about if we continue to keep Belize safe from this virus. And I think the greatest advantage we have is the prevention. And I think government did an excellent job thus far in ensuring that we reduce the effects of COVID in terms of the virus itself. Of course, some of these things are beyond our control in terms of the tourism economy and all of these things because we are dependent on another country, and that is worldwide. But nevertheless, I mean, we have come thus far, and I think together, by working together as a people, as a country, we can ensure that we keep our borders closed. We could ensure that we keep the virus out of Belize, and so we can move forward as best as possible. And I will tell you, throughout the hemisphere in terms of Central America, North America, the Caribbean. Listen, Belize is way up there in terms of where we are today. And you might say, well, we're a small nation, but you have a lot of Caribbean countries that are small likewise, and they're not in a no better shape. So it goes down to show the kind of leadership that is here, comes down to show the determination and the cooperation that we have from our citizens. And that is very important. And therefore, I ask all our citizens across this country, let us continue to cooperate, let us continue to do the right things so that we continue to live in this safe environment that we call Belize right now, especially during this COVID time.
Yeah, you said it all, Minister. And one little thing before you go, sir. What's your words, advice, or whatever to the people out there, persons out there who are still not adhering when it comes to some of the laws, social distancing, wearing your mask, and the curfew?
Yeah. You know, these I would want to say these are small sacrifices we have to do at this time. I know personally, even me, sometimes I don't like the mask.
Yeah.
You know, and I try, you know, but it is something we have to adapt to. You know, I know law enforcement is there, and like I've always said, the main objective of law enforcement is for you to conform to the regulations. And I ask our policemen and women out there to be conscious, to be able to talk and communicate to people, because, you know, I wouldn't want to see the police arrest anybody just because you never had your mask or you had it here. We are trying to get people to conform to it, and it will take some time. This is something new for us. It's not something we're used to. It's not something natural to us. We have to get used that we come out, we put the mask on and all of this. So it is a phase that we are going through that might be with us for a very long time. And I want to say that we ask people to cooperate, to put these things on, because these are there because, you know, we move wrong. We're not to say that when we say we're COVID-free means that it is not, we don't have no new cases, etc. That don't mean that somebody don't have it. Somebody must come cross from border and come to Belize or come through the back or whatever, and then he has it or she has it, and they spread it out there. By putting the mask, by keeping the social distancing, we might help to make that not spread. Yep. And at the end of the day, it is a precaution that the Department of Health Services has asked. And I think the least we can do right now is comply with these things for our own safety, you know, the safety of our
and the
nation.
curfew?
And the curfew, well, that is still there. And I tell you the truth, you know, to a large extent, I know the curfew affects, and these regulations that are in place affects a lot of people. We have people who have passed away that I know personally. They can't have no wake, you know, proper funeral in terms, you know, all of these things are challenges that brings, that impacts our families across and communities across this country. So these restrictions and all of these things are there for a reason. Yes, we have challenges, we have to live through it. And I do think that when you look at all of it, at the end of the day, I mean, it comes down to having a nation where we don't have to be worrying about this virus every day in and day out, that we have so much cases out there and that. You know, and I think that it's the least we can do, but it's dependent on our Belizeans across this country to conform to these regulations. And like I said, in terms of these restrictions, I mean, they won't be around forever. But for the meantime, let us cooperate with that. I mean, you could look at other countries out there and you could compare. I think we have done an exceptional job, and a lot of it has to do with the cooperation that we have gotten from our Belizeans. And no matter what people say, they tell you, we've had a lot of cooperation in this country from our Belizeans, and that is why we could proudly say right now we don't have no new cases, but that does not mean that we don't have cases that will come about. So by doing the necessary social distancing, etc., and the restrictions, I mean, it will help. Of course, you have the churchgoers. They're affected right now because they can't congregate. Mm-hmm. You know, you have the fisher folks where do leisure fishing. You can't go fishing right now. You know what I mean? That they affect a lot of people towards where would I want to go fishing and think. That not stop fisherman, you know. Fisherman still go fish, but I mean for pleasure, you can't say check me here when you don't want to fishing. Yeah. You know, that not happen. And there's a lot of other things with tacos vendors locally, with bolido vendors. Yeah. You know, and people who are everybody will usually go work the telemarketing areas and all of this, call centers and all of this. So there's tremendous people who have been impacted. All I say, let us continue to move forward. It's not perfect, but I think together we could continue to say and make Belize, COVID-free. And when I mean that, I sincerely mean that. We have achieved that thus far, and I think that it is dependent on us, because we could be with worse enemy,
Yeah, true.
if we not adhere to these things and figure, well, I just slip crash, say, I go in there, you don't know what to do. Because at this time out there, our neighbors have the virus. It's out there. Chetumal have 24 cases last 2 days or what, I don't remember.
Yeah.
And then you have Guatemala, so where are we? We're right smack in the middle.
Right.
And we wouldn't want to have to, because we can't handle it. The basic matter is that the amount of cases that would bear on us if we have a serious outbreak, we can't handle it at the medical aspect of things, and I don't think we want to go there. So, Checky, but it's a pleasure here, and all I ask and for our communities and our people out there to continue to cooperate, and I think together we'll move forward.
Well, thank you very much, Minister. We expect to have you here once again next week, Wednesday, if all goes well. So we don't have to communicate with that phone call and a text, but it's good that you follow up.
No, I check. We have to.
We need to know how we stand, right? And
yes.
Folks, we want to tell you that the funeral service for Mr. Matthias Jr. will be held today, 11 o'clock at Trial Farm. But remember, we can't have no lot of social gatherings, right? So funerals are open to immediate families, right? But he will be late the rest of the day.
Yeah, and checking before we close, this thing impacts everybody. We have the 10th of May coming. That's Mother's Day.
I know.
And it, for me, Mother's Day has always been one of my main events that I
me and you are in a similar situation, because we don't have a mom.
Yeah.
But we have a wife.
Yeah, that's right.
Right,
we have a community. Well, I got my community.
Yeah,
my division.
You usually do a big
thing. And I contributes to mothers,
Yeah.
And this COVID has really come in and really turn things up and down.
Yeah, set up all these things and
that is what I wanted to say. What we are doing is I've partnered with East Radio.
Okay.
And we are going to have a one-day activity on Sunday.
Actually, what time?
Which is a tribute to mothers for whole day Sunday.
Okay. Let me take this last call. Let me take this last call before we go. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, morning.
Good morning, Chigit.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah. Just to call because I think that we need to congratulate the whole of Belize. I think the Belizean people have done well.
Yes.
That's right.
To abide by the laws that they are putting. They are trying to do their best to ensure that the coronavirus does not spread. And I really thought that the Belizean people, the way they have behaved.
That's right.
If we look at the United States, President Trump, he just say, open business, don't do this, don't do that. That's nonsense, because this coronavirus hasn't gone. It's still on us. And the U.S., the mighty U.S., billions of dollars to spend. Trump now is saying, money done. Open business, everybody has to work. Man, the Belizean people have done marvelous. They have done well. I congratulate the entire nation of Belize. They have done well. If you notice the victims we had were not really people who somehow got that virus here. They were brought from outside.
Right.
So, congratulations to the Belizean people. They have done well. And again, we must remember that the front fighters, the health workers, this is a one time we have to acknowledge the health workers. They have done so well. They have been there for us. They have been putting their lives at risk. Health workers, I tell you, great praise to them. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Carla.
So you were saying about the program on the East Radio.
Yeah, so Sunday we're going to have a tribute to mothers on the radio, and of course we will have one or two, a number of raffles that I'm doing, trying to reach out to our mothers out there, my heart is always out there for our mothers at the East, so we're going to do this still. It's not going to be as big as we usually do it because, our little resources have gone towards the food pantries and stuff in our division, but we are still going to acknowledge our mothers because, without you all, we wouldn't be anywhere. And so that is happening on East Radio this Sunday. So stay tuned to East Radio 104.9 FM and tune in to some raffles that we'll be doing, and of course,
I will put Peter and everybody sing while he
that's
sang
right.
or something.
Well, somebody can sing, We
got
some guys that will be coming into studios playing
sing especially for the mothers, right?
That's right. So
okay, so
at
this time, from this end, you want to say that special Mother's Day
Of
to
course,
all
we want
moms as
we
well,
want
no?
to wish all mothers a most happy and how would I put it, a most loving weekend. I hope your
Healthy.
sons and daughters are there, come together, because we have to do that for our family, you know.
Yes.
We have to come together and acknowledge the mothers within our families, you know, and big them up for that day and make their day special, because, you know, no matter what, and I could tell you right now, Chicky, during this time, nobody more stronger in the house than the mothers.
That's right.
That are there during this crisis.
That's
so
right.
we have to big them up. We can't forget them. You know, it is Mother's Day here on the 10th, and I want to wish every mother out there most splendid day, and I wish you the best in health, you know, and we are here for you. So
Yeah.
tune into East Radio. We'll have something going on there this Sunday. Now.
Also, to Minister wrap up, but like then later we got one lot of picnic, and got some people who got 15, some of them got 20. Give them the time. Say, all right, you could go from 9 to 10, you could go with your family, or 3, 4 hours, and then somebody else go 11 to 12, and give them the lead time so
Yeah.
everybody could get in time to visit them,
man.
all right?
Yeah, we have a program. We'll work on that, but definitely, you know, I think it's every family know their mothers, and they have to do something for them, because
Yeah.
the Mother's Day, I mean, we can't forget it. I know, I'll tell you the truth, you know, through this COVID, a lot of people forget a lot of things.
True.
Because they are focused more on what is so important to them in terms of, you know, then they worry about the finance and they worry about the jobs and all of these things, you know. But we got Mother's Day right here, so we want to ask everybody, take care of our mothers. No?
Yeah, folks, so we'd like to thank Minister Aragon. Minister Aragon will be here once again next week, Wednesday. We are always texting and calling each other. Say, bye, we're ready? All right. Well, we know we're ready right now
Yeah, man, right,
for
yeah.
next week, Wednesday.
Sure.
Also, folks, reminding you before we leave once again that the funeral for Mr. Alpuche, that will be held today, 11 o'clock at the Trial Farm Cemetery. Remember, we have to keep social distancing. A lot of people can't go to the funeral, but we'd like to thank you all who tune in the East, on the East Radio, Robert Cheque Usher and Minister Aragon. The show repeats tonight at 8 o'clock. We have repeat of Channel 7 News, 12 here today, and then live news at 6 o'clock today. So have yourself a wonderful one. Thanks very much, Raheem. Thanks, Emerson. Everybody who call, everybody who text, everybody who just listen, and the folks who pray for all of us. Thank you all for the blessings, and we stay hasta mañana until we meet again.
Sugar City Morning Show.